Have you ever wondered how the printed book, a seemingly simple invention, revolutionized Europe and the world? Let's travel back to the Dark Ages, a time when Europe was shrouded in ignorance and poverty. But even in this bleak era, glimmers of change began to spark. As trade routes gradually reopened and southern European city-states started to prosper, a thirst for knowledge and innovation began to brew. Imagine the bustling streets of Renaissance Italy, teeming with ideas, as Greek intellectuals migrated to Venice in droves. They brought with them secular scholarship and fresh perspectives that would shape Europe's new identity. This intellectual influx led to a dramatic surge in manuscript publication, creating a voracious demand for information that couldn't be satiated. In this context, the stage was set for a groundbreaking invention, the printed book. The printed book didn't just emerge in a vacuum. It was the convergence of societal conditions and technological advancements that paved the way. The printed book, for instance, had been around in China and Korea for centuries before it made its way to Europe. But these societies, with their complex writing systems of thousands of characters, didn't see the same explosion in demand for books that Europe did. Europe, with its simpler writing system and hundreds of competing states hungry for trade, technology, and knowledge, was primed for the impact of the printed book. There was another key player in this story: paper. Paper, a technology brought to Europe from China in the 12th century, was a cheaper and more accessible alternative to the expensive parchment used by scribes throughout the Middle Ages. By the 15th century, paper had largely replaced parchment, setting the stage for the mass production of books. The scene was set, the actors in place. The printed book was about to trigger waves of disruption that would change Europe forever. So, how did the printed book change Europe and the world? Well, imagine a stone hitting a pond. The impact creates ripples, right? The printed book was that stone, and Europe was the pond. The ripples were waves of disruption that touched every corner of society, lasting for centuries. These waves weren't just disruptive, they were transformative. The printed book was the spark that ignited the Industrial Revolution, leading to an entirely new way of producing goods. But the transformation didn't stop there. The book's impact ushered in new social, economic, and political structures. It was like a domino effect, with each falling piece triggering a new wave of change. But perhaps the most profound impact was on humanity itself. The printed book opened up extraordinary new possibilities. It was like a key unlocking new ways of understanding and explaining the world. No longer were we confined by the limits of oral tradition or the scarcity of handwritten texts. Knowledge became more accessible, and with that accessibility came the power to question, to learn, and to grow. The printed book, a seemingly simple invention, fundamentally changed our view of the world and our place within it, leaving an indelible mark on history.